I come to each of these events thinking that I'm not going to be nervous, and each time I'm more nervous. So I've got to really figure this out. So thank you all so much for sharing time this evening and being a part of this amazing community. My story is super simple. 5 years ago, I was in these rooms, in these events, trying to land my first internships, in technology. Being at a startup here in New York was what I was passionate about. I'd showed up at college, planning to be, a physicist and planning to be a professor. Turns out I'm garbage when it comes to physics. And so to very quickly, kind of pivot my strategy a little bit, I think I needed to, try to find other skills and talents. And I was very lucky to find that in getting rooms like this together and getting people together was something that, I was always very passionate about. And so I spent all my time at school trying to get friends together to work on projects, work on building companies together. And fast forward a little bit, I'm super lucky to do that now as my full-time focus as a venture capital investor. So, I think part of my inspiration and part of what gets me so excited to be back here is, just remembering being in each of your shoes. Remember being super nervous, to print business cards, super nervous to network. But I think what's important to realize is, people are the fundamental units of companies, movements, cities, everything that you want to be a part of. There's a person or a group of people behind it. And you should seize every opportunity you can to meet those people that are behind the scenes, building the things that you're excited about, that you're passionate about, and to try to, in your own way, be an orchestrator and contribute in the areas where you can. I think, Emily, 5 years ago, crafted this community to solve a need that she saw. I think in so many ways, each of you should, take it upon yourself to do very similar things, and to, if there isn't something that exists a part of this community today, you should, identify it, build it, collaborate with other folks, and never be afraid to do stuff that's outside the status quo, because I think if you don't do that, you're not going to do as many interesting things as you can. And so, I'm very lucky today to be back here in New York. Quick anecdote. Earlier today, I was meeting an investor who, literally her intern the summer that I came to this event 5 years ago is now one of my best friends, and now we're doing an investment together. And if you told me 5 years ago that something like that could be possible, I would have been like, jokes all around. You know what I mean? But literally that was earlier today. That was a coffee I had. And never think that these things aren't possible, and really appreciate how quickly things can unfold and how quickly you can change your focus, change your areas, and to really quickly unfold things. And I think so much has been accomplished in the past 5 years in this community and each of your lives. Just imagine what's possible for the next 5 years if one evening a week you make sure to come to an event like this and meet one person new, or you send one email to a CEO or someone whose career looks fantastic and you want to learn more. I think these things compound over time much more quickly than we give them credit for. And so I would encourage all of you to make those investments early on, because sure enough, 2 years down the road, 3 years down the road, these things kind of come back. And so today, I'm back here in New York, dedicated to helping build up the ecosystem here for entrepreneurs, for technologists, for groups of young people like you. I spend all my time trying to empower individuals to start companies, to join startups, and to really build up what I view as one of New York's emerging and kind of core strengths with this, which is technology, which is entrepreneurship. And I'm lucky to be in a venture capital role to do that, to help each of you find your way into startups or build companies when the time is right. And I'm super privileged to have been the beneficiary of so many folks that took a coffee meeting with me, kind of, shook my hand and made me feel comfortable in a room like this, when it's so easy to feel intimidated and so easy to feel like, I'm so young, I've accomplished a little, you can get past all of those things and change them all super quickly within the blink of an eye. And so I couldn't be more indebted to FindSpark, to friends like Emily, to peers like each of you. I think, one of the things I'd also stress is just totally take a few minutes and get to know the people next to you. These are going to be co-founders, friends, significant others. Everything is possible in a way. I truly mean that. And so, just take advantage. This is a really phenomenal, high-quality community to be a part of. This is a fantastic room to be in tonight on a Thursday evening. You could have each been doing so many different things, but you chose to be here. You chose to be productive and focused and collaborative and to build your networks, and I commend you on that. And so I'm grateful to be in this room this evening. I'm grateful for all the work that Emily has done for me and for creating a space like this, and I'd love to help anyone in any way that I can. So thank you for sharing this evening. Woo!